Oh man, I guess I have to leave and go get water.
I'm gonna go get water too. Later, guys.
Stay where the fuck you are. Okay. On top of that, the votes even split, so we have no idea if Jeremy is Takazma's son or not.
Which is, I think, exactly how it should be. I don't want to know.
Perfect balance, as all things should be.
Underneath Takazma's suit, can he be wearing a shirt that says, "I'm not the stepdad, I'm the dad who stepped up"?
But, like, it's biologically his son.
Yeah.
Or daughter.
Jeremy's just looking at him like, why are you doing this? I need the points, son. My leaderboard position's slipping. Points! Okay, so, opening up session. Sweet Tooth falls out of the void, by which I mean steps out of the bar into the candy shop. Still empty. Avadris actually stepped away from the counter for like the first time in days and is looking out over the ocean. You also hear a rumbling from Avery's closet.
No, Avery actually has a room.
No, I mean, he has a closet in the room though, right?
No.
Oh, I forgot your room description.
Okay, so do you mind if I take over a moment?
Go for it.
Sweet Tooth hears a rumbling. Like the frame of Avery's door is shaking quite violently. It's enough that it seems like it should be popping out of its frame, but it's staying there. Do you move over to investigate that?
Can I see under his door frame?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to attempt to do that.
You peek down underneath it, and you actually don't see anything. The door is just vibrating and shaking like crazy. It sounds like there's a horrible storm overhead.
This is probably one of my worst ideas. I'm going to ready but not eat a healing candy and just kind of like... I'm going to turn the knob so that the door can fly open and just move my hand away as soon as that's done.
The door shoots open and you see standing at the table at the far end of Avery's room, the carved table Chivalry nominally sleeps under or makes his part of the room under. You see a grayscale silhouette of a man standing there. You can't really make anything out about him. He is... You think he's wearing a kilt. That's really the only part about his silhouette that stands out to you. He is making something on that table.
A femboy.
God damn it, Seth.
It's my thing, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna, like, against my better judgment, like, kind of walk in and see what he's making on the table.
You see his hands moving faster and faster and faster. He's grabbing scissors and needles and shaping thread, shaping metal. You see that on the table he does have a small dagger that you recognize as Fraggle Rock. And you see this man, this ghost, is making a new chivalry.
Thought that's when we happened at midnight. I wonder if it's going poorly at the hotel.
He doesn't react to you, but very quickly he finishes and sighs in a way that echoes strangely in the room. It's again like a storm rising overhead. You hear water crashing against the warehouse, and he's gone. Chivalry sits up and looks at you.
Hey, Chivalry, is it going rough up there?
Chivalry very shakily stands up, and you see something that you've heard Avery joke about, but Chivalry is crying. There are little sequins falling out from underneath his eyes, little blue things that are just shattering into dust on the ground.
I'm gonna go over next to where he is and sit down. Did, something happen other than you just dying, didn't it?
He denied me. Avery gave into it. He gave into the Lord, and he changed the curse. I'm alone now, and he's gone with the waterlogged.
Well, I don't think alone is quite the right word. I might not be with him, who I know you've been with the longest, or longest here at least. But
I don't know what. Chivalry sits up, like, you can tell he's grieving, but he does seem to have not necessarily a plan, but something he knows he should do to keep himself busy at least. Sam, Chivalry will run to find Avogdra.
You see a Vogdra. It looked like she was just standing off on the pier looking out towards the flotilla. As you find her, she is rigid, shaking slightly, and you see molten iron leaking from her eyes and what appear to be her facsimile of tears.
Chivalry shakily laughs. Well, I guess that's two of us. You all right, lass?
She just kind of whispers in a way you can't hear for a second, but then says, "Can't you hear them? Can't you hear the screaming?"
Chivalry looks up to Sweet Tooth and says, several Goliaths fell, and I believe that some of the leaders of the Iron Legion themselves might have fallen. I don't know what she could be reacting to. Have you any idea?
a little bit of one, but I'm not certain about it. I'll kind of walk up and stand on the other side of her and ask, I can't hear them. Who's screaming about her?
My family. My people. Thousands of voices just ringing out over the water. What have they done? She grips your hand, so just kind of like eye 1,000-yard stare. She goes, "What did they do?"
Chivalry will look up to her and say, before I was made to leave, they were opening a gate. I know not to where. Several of the Legion have fallen. Several have.
I think Charlie did inform you that that portal was summoning the Ironmonger.
Chivalry will share then with Avogdra. A fellow called the Ironmonger is coming through.
Did you want... You still have some of Tristan's old notes he left you. Did you want to look up anything about the Ironmonger while you had a moment?
I'd love to, if that's possible.
I think Chivalry has a point in research.
Roll research
assist.
for me. Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
Does Chivalry have a mind step? Yeah, he does.
Yes, Chivalry
He's a real
has.
one now.
Yeah.
Chivalry has some streetwise, decent mind stat and some supernatural history.
Alright, since the scene's going to end as soon as you get to this point, so we're going to add 3 dice, 1 from assist, 2 from taking your time. Roll research for me.
All right.
3 extra dice is pretty nice.
3 9s.
Alright. Immediately, you point out, you start reading it out loud. You read out one part of the Ironmonger's ability sheet. He carries a forge heart with him to amplify his abilities.
Okay.
Oh no,
Chivalry.
he's middle management.
Chivalry looks up to Avogdra from these notes and says, the Ironmonger carries with him an object he calls the Forge Heart. Do you know what that is?
That's us. We're the forge heart.
We've seen one before. It's a small thing. It's not a person anymore. I fear they. Chivalry looks stricken and says, I fear they might be killing your people and making them into amplifying artifacts."
Avogdra closes her eyes, shuts out the tears, and nods, confirming that the forge hearts are a product of genocide. We cut to the Ironmonger.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I did have one other thing I needed to do in that scene.
What's up?
Chivalry grabs up Avogdra's hand and says, "Now, lass, I know you might not just wish to hear this now, but I have a favor I need to ask of you, something that'll guard this place from others who might try the same here."
Okay, cut now.
Tom, is it important you finish what you were going to say?
Yeah, it just,
Would we be okay doing it?
Chivalry just needs Avogdra to throw some molten metal into the water.
Oh, yeah, she can definitely do that. She just takes one of the candy fingers, pushes a hole into her arm, and lets the molten iron just kind of flow out.
Horrifying.
We cut to the Ironmonger. As he emerges from the burning, collapsing molten glass, molten metal wreck of the portal, the Legion of Cold Iron Mark III's behind him, collapsing as the spatial distortion wears off. The Stalker is just going to look up and go, "You're not Cyborg," and just walk off, effortlessly evading 3 Mark III's that try and take a swipe at him. Animal and Jeremy immediately move to get the hell out of Dodge. You hear Charlie sees a low metallic hum emanate out, and Jeremy and Animal are frozen. Jeremy in particular is frozen mid-air. It doesn't appear to be a time stop. You see Jeremy's eyes darting around wildly. It looks like he's struggling against something. You see the Ironmonger slowly plod over to where Jeremy is hanging in the air. He is unable to open his mouth, but you hear him screaming as the Ironmonger reaches out a hand and slowly just closes it around Jeremy. You see his bones break, his skin rupture, and a mass of red erupt out from where he was.
Horrifying.
Jeremy is dead. He didn't have a chance. He begins moving over to where Anil is, only to get distracted for a moment as a supercharged shot from Deputy Cyborg 3 buildings over plows through a building and takes out one of the xylophone pieces that were above. You see the shot go through one of the xylophone platforms that was blocking him. You see it get to about a foot away from the Ironmonger before it burns out, as if it's plowed through feet of solid material. As everyone's looking at the shot, the xylophone falls slightly, just enough to cast a shadow over Animal as he teleports out using out of sight, out of mind.
This guy seems like a problem. I am going to signal for everyone to regroup. I'm going to have the Vicaros included start retreating, and I think we should probably get everyone sans Charlie to the same place.
Quick question. Is Bayou Bill near Amp?
No.
No, Bayou Bill and Blue are...
Something like 50 miles away, you had said.
They're still all the way out in the...
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
Area. They don't have to get back.
I wasn't here for most of the last session, so I just wanted to know what happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is Duman's ship operable? Like, can I communicate with the crew members?
Yeah.
Could I send the crew members to go pick those two up?
They're gonna say they have to go look for a new captain, and they're
Okay.
gonna kind of just exit the scene.
All right, that works.
Bats is gonna hop off. He's shaken. He is crying. He's holding the clothes of Dumond. He is a bit too upset to use his super strength. He does need a clear mind, clear heart to do it. But once he calms down, he can make a beeline for Bill and Blue.
Okay.
John Hannibal will go over and try to console him. Hey.
Y'all are not near each other right now. Everyone's kind of separated.
Everyone's scattered at the moment. You are towards the center, where Avery had his villain moment, and Xander. Well, let's put it this way: Xander is dead now. Him and Avery had a clashing of the wills. They decided that Xander was the worst roommate. Broke his power, and Avery killed him. The closest thing to Mr. President right now would be the central repository in the middle of town, where it looked like it was being swarmed by thousands of little origami iron dragons, before a massive gout of flame just obliterated them, and half the building was just disintegrated. You know that's where propulsion and repulsion were going to meet Sal Sr.
Okay.
Or where propulsion was. You don't know the medical repulsion yet. Charlie hasn't shared that information. But that implies that that is the direction repulsion was going. Propulsion was going. So you know something's gone wrong.
Can I retcon something and say that I had at least one little guy with a radio connected to each person so we could sort of stay in contact?
Sure.
Okay, cool. That way we can all, like, meet up without Charlie having to glass everything. Let's all meet up at the central repository then.
Charlie will inform you that he will be there with glass, but cannot be there physically.
But
Okay.
considering all of the cold iron, would Bill's beacon still work?
Beacon? Which one? What?
This little army man with the radio.
Yes, it would still work.
Good.
It's mostly tech, so cold iron doesn't affect it too bad. So, everyone can meet up. You're gonna get a radio from Cyborg and Animal going. You're gonna hear Animal in the background basically screaming, "I couldn't even fucking do anything!" Cyborg is gonna radio in like, "Hey, something big just got summoned. It's bad. We're on the run. We're not gonna meet up with you guys. We're gonna try and keep this thing on a goose chase, because it is following us."
Okay. So I guess we gotta decide if we're gonna go after that thing, because how does the battlefield feel right now, Sam? Does it feel like it's like pushing in our favor until the Ironmonger came?
So I basically had it so that Mr. President is making leadership roles to get the crack shots back on task. And with Xander no longer pinning them down, the center of town is now kind of recaptured. And the presiding silence is no longer there to coordinate the artillery strikes and keep people down. So there's a lot more movement, and Leviathan fire is a lot less accurate. But it feels like it was really starting to shift in your direction until the Ironmonger showed up.
So I think our main objective, guys, if we can somehow at least make the Ironmonger retreat, then that might be a best way. But what do we know about his powers?
I will ask the Cayman if he can tell me anything about him.
So you would also have the document that Tristan gave you.
Would I have that memorized with
Yeah,
hard?
your mind is good enough that you would have it memorized. The Ironmonger's ability is that he gives things the properties of iron. He can give anything any property of iron he so chooses. So he can make something magnetic, or if Charlie fills him in, he can do something like, technically speaking, iron is solid, so he can make the air solid.
Okay.
It's an incredibly flexible power, and it's incredibly strong. Its main limiting factor is supposed to be that it's very, very close range, but the Forge Heart boosts its range exponentially.
This might just be would John Hannibal be able to figure out that like psionics would sonic powers would probably work well on him, because like metal transfers sound a lot better than air? Or would that be outside of like what would actually, or is that like incorrect?
So
that's more Chris' assumption, by the way.
So
it's not
with
like
10 mind, you would realize.
I don't have 10 mind.
Oh, with Mr. President?
I have 6 mind.
Oh, 6 mind. Oh yeah, that's still good. You would think if he could he could basically choose to deactivate it and just go with whatever one is more convenient for him.
Okay.
He can basically, if you're approaching something and it's more convenient for it to be iron, it will be treated as iron, but he doesn't have to take the entire package. So, like for example, he could make something magnetic, but then not make it solid.
Got it. Okay.
Which is, I'm guessing, what he did to the other two.
Charlie would be able to see that the air itself became like a solid. It was like iron. They were basically trapped in several tons worth of iron that still behaved like air for everybody else. Or at least the Ironmonger. You saw him deactivate the power around him so he could move freely.
Okay, so we need like a combination of heat, sound, and other things to sort of counteract his power.
With 6 mind, you know that he also, a stealth attack would be good for him because he needs to... He has templates so he can change a bunch of variables at once, but he needs to actually activate this power since it offers so much control.
Okay. So our long-range sniper, Carronade.
Yes! I want to point out, all of this is mounted to an upgraded Goliath armor. So...
Yeah. Which I believe is cold iron, question mark?
It is cold iron, yeah.
I wasn't quite clear on this. Is the Ironmonger himself in a Goliath's body? Is he giant?
He is giant, yeah. Goliaths, universally, they're not just suits, they are like the person to pilot a Goliath, your skeleton is removed and your organs and skin are grafted as like a nervous system throughout the armor.
Oh, that's
hey,
horrifying.
cool. It's
You're thinking of a Big Daddy, I'm guessing?
no. 40K.
Terminator?
No. Terminator is just a bigger
How big is he exactly?
hold on a second.
About 15 to 18 feet tall. He's not much taller than a normal Goliath. It's just that his armor is better. And specifically, as pointed out by the document, his magnetics are a lot more upgraded. The normal Goliath can only like do a little repulsor field and some other tricks. His is significantly more developed. That's the dangerous part about him.
It's like a dreadnought from 40K.
So, all right. Maybe we got me, so Mr. President and Charlie sort of distract him. And then, I mean, if all 3 of you hit, maybe you can get through. That'd be Amp Carronade and Bayou Bill, if Bayou Bill makes it back in time.
He's got 50 miles to traverse. How much body do you have?
Bayou Bill has 9 body with 1 booster.
Okay, so that's gonna
That's
be...
still not that fast. I think, right?
I'm checking the thing.
So 9 body is 50 yards per round. Sprint booster doubles that, so 100 yards per round.
100 miles
That'll
per
take him,
hour, 30 minutes.
yeah, that'd take him a half hour. Which I don't think we have.
The vaqueros are also going to radio in. Do you want us to stop pursuing this guy? Because we really don't think it's a good idea to give him free reign. He will clear this blockage in no time if we're not pinning him down.
Yeah, I think keeping him pinned down at least for now. While
So
we
they're talking. He's talking about a different guy. He's talking about
Stonks.
Stonks. Yeah.
The artillery guy. He's trying to undo the blockades Mr. President set up several sessions ago. That's stopping reinforcements from coming into the city.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If we send someone over there to help finish off Stonks, would that help escalate them killing him?
So the main issue is they don't have anyone who can keep him pinned down. Stonks can, since he's a minion power, he basically just has minions laying down artillery fire on like all of the vaqueros. So only like the 3 fastest vaqueros can really do anything to him at the minute. Anyone that can help the vaqueros move forward, and anyone who could maybe pin down Stonks a little bit would basically do it.
Can I drain the minions? Would that work?
Yeah, but the minions are mobile, so they can kind of scuttle.
Yeah, so my thing does have duration on it. So once they're reduced, they're gonna stay reduced.
I thought that was only so long as they stayed in the area.
It doesn't have anything that's specified.
So basically,
But also, if I just made it a pretty big area, I can just keep draining them.
True. So with radius and duration, you basically have to pick one on character creation. Either the effect hits an area, and everyone in that area has the effect on them, and then even if they leave, but it doesn't reapply to that area. Or you can pick an area and the power reapplies to that area every round, but if you leave that area, then the effect stops.
It technically has 2 instances of duration because it has contingent. It has contingent and duration.
Okay. I'm not sure that fixes that particular
Okay.
issue.
Then we'll just say they have to stay with it, and I can just make a lot of glass.
Okay.
I'll just make it in dots around the area, so basically wherever they're walking, they're still in range.
What?
What's that?
Are we able to see the forge heart?
Yeah. Oh.
That the Ironmonger's holding?
Yes. You would be able to see that, and in the document, it's going to note that if you can disable or kill the forge heart, the Ironmonger loses his power. Not because the forge heart itself is his artifact, it's that cold iron usually disables paranormal abilities.
Got it. He's bypassing using it.
Yes.
Karenade, how accurate are you?
I feel slightly insulted you had to ask that question.
I mean, it's a path forward.
You know who can pick up Bayou Bill, though? Animal's gonna pry himself up from the muck using out of sight, out of mind, and he's just gonna grab Bayou Bill and just push him down. Animal is just gonna gather everyone up while Cyborg keeps the Ironmonger's attention.
Okay. Lug did manage to defeat the... So Lug can join us as well, right?
Yeah, he'll be back online in a little bit. He just needs a breather.
Okay.
So I say we separate. I think Mr. President and Charlie would be really good against Stonks. Because Charlie can drain and I have minions as well.
Yeah, so Charlie is very notably physically very off the scene right now. He's taking Sal Jr. to a safe location.
Okay. So then I guess Mr. President goes and helps with that, and I guess everyone else focuses on the Ironmonger and maybe try to destroy the Forge Heart. Do we have a sense how hard it is to destroy a Forge Heart? Like,
You guys have never really done research into that.
okay.
You know that... Well, actually, there was one thing you guys found out earlier. If you activate a Forge Heart and then manage to get Cold Iron directly into the center of it, that will destroy it. Or at least shut it down in a more permanent fashion.
Oh, could we grab that Cold Iron blade then?
Do we still have communication?
Wait, wouldn't be able to teleport with it. Never mind.
Does the candy shop still have communication with the main group?
Yeah, because Mr. President has set up radios everywhere.
Okay, can Chivalry ask Avagdra then that, having heard updates on this situation, I'm assuming that the candy shop knows what's happening too?
Yeah, we can say they've heard all the radio chatter. And it's not going to be intercepted because we have encrypted comms, so we don't need to worry about security.
Oh.
Nice. Chivalry will ask Avagdra. All right. Thank you for what you just did there for me. But they're out in the flotilla where this is happening. One of the men there, he has a Forge Heart with him. It's just some object that he's slaved to his will. Make him more powerful. Do you know, is there anything that can be done to end their suffering or to disable them, that we might be able to help them put themselves back together, undo whatever the Legion did to them? Is there a way to stop this?
There's no undoing the work been done, but I can quiet them if you get me to them.
How fast is Animal?
Animal isn't on the same tier as Lug. He can't... Animal's about a bunch of short-range, very fast teleports, and it is noted that Lug is a lot better overall at Midnight Crew stuff than Animal was.
Does Lug have the range and also the carry capacity? I've been operating on the assumption that Avagdra is insanely heavy because she's made of metal.
If Lug was at full power, he could do it. He is still incredibly weakened because his watch is disabled. And Lug apparently had a bit of his power tied up to it.
So how... That didn't quite answer my question. Is that something Animal could do?
Animal could not do it in a reasonable time frame.
Okay.
Within the flotilla, he can do it, but he can't go all the way back to the candy shop and the flotilla in a reasonable time frame.
Is there anyone...
Sam, what are the rules for donating base willpower?
You can't donate base willpower, just willpower.
Okay, if I donated 10 willpower to Lug, would that help him get back online?
Not really. See, the clock, he needs it to tick over once.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
Last I checked, I think, did Bill use his watch already?
Bill did not use his watch. It failed to activate, so he can still use it.
Okay. Yeah, every midnight, you are able to put a willpower in the watch. So if you set it to midnight...
Bill will walk over to where Lug is and ask him if there's anything he can do to help him.
He's just going to straight up ask, I need my watch to tick over. But as far as I'm aware, no one can make it midnight faster here. I don't think Animal has one.
Bill just smiles, takes out his fob watch, and in one smooth motion, hits it.
Okay, usually no more warning for mine. He twists his watch. His is apparently not well maintained. He has to fucking wrench it to wind it. Midnight ends. He goes, "Oh, don't scare a man like that. Give me some warning."
But I mean, I'm sorry. It was. Listen, we've been through a lot here. I thought we could both use a cinematic, humorous moment like that.
People are dying. All right, so Lug's just, like, not even using cover like Animal does. He's just going to step backwards into a slightly shadowed area and just dissipate like smoke. Chivalry, you're going to feel him just clap you on the back and go, all right, trip one, and then just back and forth, you just see him, like, throw Chivalry, then Sweet Avogdra, and he's going to put a hand on Sweet Tooth, go, do you want to...
I think that's a bad idea. I can't really do much on the battlefield. Do you want more healing candy, though?
Absolutely. He takes a bag,
All right.
gets out. It takes him a couple of jumps, but he knows the way now.
Am I right in assuming that a bag of healing candy, I feel like it's like a burlap sack with a $sign on it, but Sweet Tooth has crossed a $sign off?
No, so they're actually Ziploc sealed bags. There's one window in, and they have a reflective thing on the other side. That is most effective for keeping water out of it. And by
Okay.
water, I mean specifically the damp. That way the candy doesn't get sticky.
Wait, the damp can't get through Ziploc bag?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Tinkers. Okay, so... you guys are gathered as best you can. You see a few shots ring out as Cyborg is getting sniper fire off on the Ironmonger. Lug and Animal are now taking turns getting him as like disjointed and dispositioned as humanly possible. It looks like the Ironmonger, he's after like the second juke he's learned, and at this point it looks like he's just observing the patterns. Which is, you don't know how smart this guy actually is, but he is noted as an industrialist, so probably decent intelligence.
Alright, so we gotta split up, guys. One to help Stonks, so then we can free up the Vaqueros, and then we can all converge on the Ironmonger. So I think I could probably be the best for helping Stonks.
Hey, just before we do anything else, can we take like one or two pot shots at where Prime Minister Sinister was?
Oh, I've just been assuming Carrie's been doing that every time,
Oh, okay.
every round.
Sure.
Thousands of rounds have been emptied into this fight.
Never mind.
How
We're good
big
then.
are Stonk's guys?
So the first, so here's how Stonk's powers work. He touches an area, it becomes a molten scar that slowly eats out an area. And these little crab guys start popping out after a little while. The first ones are about like the size of a baseball. They got 4 legs and a little nozzle that can fire artillery shells. They can burrow into the ground. The gun gets bigger and it becomes like full-on mortar fire. Once 4 of them pop out, they can join together into a bigger crab. This one's about the
Okay,
size.
so numbers go up.
Yeah. The scars don't stop. They will just pump out crabs until the material is gone.
What
Okay,
is
so if I
the
turn their
current...
source material on the glass, they can't do that? Question mark.
Yes, but at the same time, just to give insight into what's going on, Stonks is going full-on parkour, jumping out of buildings, using iron wire to Spider-Man his way around, running off of facades on buildings, and every time he does, he's like putting his hand on something to make iron scars. It's actually difficult even for Charlie to keep up with him.
Good to know. Is he himself using paranormal stuff to do this, or is that just his body?
The movement is just him being incredibly well trained. It looks like the only paranormal thing about him is a set of cold iron dog tags that makes it very hard for Charlie to track him. And
Okay.
whatever is he has a prosthetic arm that apparently has an artifact in it that lets him do what he's doing.
Okay. Prosthetic
like to-
arm, you say?
Go ahead, Tom.
I'd like to send Chivalry after Stonks because Chivalry can probably catch him with his stats. But I need to know... Chivalry doesn't get gobble dice against things that are the same size or smaller than him. So I wanted to know exactly how big these things are to know what I should expect.
So the first 3 levels of Stonk, we're just gonna call him
He's a singular stonk.
we're gonna call him
Donkey.
Scrabblers. The first 3 levels of Scrabbler are smaller than Chivalry.
Okay.
The 4 on, where they start getting the size of like horse to small house, then they're bigger than him.
I think Chivalry would still go after it, but he would pop, what is it, a Candy Comet that gives...
That's the 5 heavy armor, yeah.
That was 5 heavy armor?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Hardened?
No.
Okay. Either way, I think I'd send Chivalry after Stocks, because he has 10 body with 2 boosters, so he can probably catch him.
I'd say we both go, both you and me.
Okay.
Then I can deal with the minions. Mr. President can deal with the minions.
Okay. How much does Mr. President weigh? Because Chivalry can carry him.
I do not imagine Mr. President weighs much at 2 body.
We're gonna say
Okay.
at most 200. At most.
All right. That is barely even a goddamn blip for Chivalry, who can carry...
How are you
much?
carrying me? Are you romantic, wedding day carrying me?
Absolutely.
So there's a few options. I can either get you in the princess carry or...
I want the princess carry.
Okay.
No doubts about it. I mean, that's the funniest, right?
The other option is that Avery would carry Chivalry around with a sort of backpack harness, so you could be wearing Chivalry as a jetpack, basically.
No, I think the princess carry is the funniest, just because I'd like to imagine one of the people, the enemies walking around, they just see me getting carried around by a teddy bear, and they're just like, huh, I'm gonna ignore that. That might be one of the weirder things I've seen.
It's the wedding photos for Shaq and Vern Troyer. Be back.
Alright, and I think everyone else goes after Ironmonger and trying to destroy the Forge Heart.
Seems reasonable.
Okay?
All right. The second you guys split up,
I will create the groups.
cool. Thank you. Let's see here. I will say, how do we want to split up the NPCs? Deputy Cyborg's acting as bait, so he's going to be treated as occupied.
Yep.
Do you guys just want to split up Animal and Lug, or do you want to just have them hang back and act as support?
Animal and Lug acting as support is probably a good idea. I feel like they probably work well together.
Can we somehow convince the Stalker that because the Ironmonger is attacking us, he's also attacking Deputy Cyborg and therefore needs to be destroyed to keep Cyborg safe?
Because he can't properly complete his task.
You guys have completely lost track of the Stalker.
Yeah, Charlie probably can't see him at all, so...
Correct.
I can probably identify vaguely where he is if I know he's supposed to be at a location by
If
negative
that
space.
Stalker doesn't re-enter this fucking scene by a chest burster out of the Ironmonger's fucking stomach, I'm gonna be real pissed.
I was gonna say, as you split up, the Ironmonger is gonna... Charlie can see him. Well, actually, Charlie can't see the Ironmonger too clearly, but he can see the sound waves created by his speakers. And they're gonna say, I can direct you towards Deputy Cyborg. And the Stalker is just gonna slowly rise, just T-pose rise from a window and step onto his floor. You're gonna see
With all the cold iron nullifying skills, can Chivalry even actually see Stonks?
you can see stonks, but so the cold iron dog tag, each of the ironworks had a worked cold iron tool that helped them evade a certain thing. The dog tags specifically limit things that have utility effects on you. So like mind control, transmutation, or those were the two main ones he was concerned about, actually. Just mind control and transmutation. Anything that would change him, the dog tags prevent.
Now, before the group is broken up, can Where is Tiny Boat?
Tiny Boat is submerged in the bloody viscera of Jeremy. Its bottle is cracked. You see a small rain cloud forming above it.
We have to get revenge for Tiny Boat.
Chivalry will go and grab Tiny Boat, and
You would have to go through the Ironmonger for that.
No, the Ironmonger he's not in that area anymore. You would have to go through Xylophone, Metallurgist, and the Ironmonger's crew. Because they're trying to rebuild that portal.
Because Chivalry can heal Tiny Boat.
Did I miss anyone? I thought Charlie was carrying Sal Jr.
Yeah, Charlie can be his support, but he can't be there.
Which is probably good.
Can Chivalry ask Lug to get the boat?
He's gonna ask who's in the area, and the second you fill him in, he's gonna go, no, absolutely, I'm not going near there with a 6-foot pole. That would be suicide.
Well, Lug should probably help with the Ironmonger, and what's her name? The metal lady?
Vogdra, she needs to go with the. She needs to go to the Ironmonger.
Yep.
Okay. I think. Listen, I'm terrible at spelling, so if I misspelled something, I apologize.
No worries.
Chivalry will yell that if any of you can get Tiny Boat and it's still functional, it's still whole, he can repair it.
Now, we do need to. While that's happening, and you guys are about to split up, we're going to cut to propulsion and repulsion. Propulsion is currently on fire. Repulsion is going to go, man, you are burning fucking hot, my guy. Okay, so...
It's not that hot. I'm not getting third-degree burns like when I destroyed my gloves. So,
Repulsion holds up one of his arm plates. It is molten as he rips it off and throws it.
Maybe you step back.
As you guys are approaching Sal Sr., is going to go, okay, so we need to be ready for fucking anything. It heads up on his power. He empties things. That's why I don't have armor plating. Or at least not much. Last we saw him, he would just point at Mark IIIs and they would crumple like soda cans in a vacuum, Or
damn it, we should have brought the fucking bucket.
So I have a technical question for you, my new friend, acquaintance, whatever we are at this point, revenge buddies.
Get a Toto moment.
Can he empty abstract concepts such as one's will to live?
He's gonna stop at that and go, I don't know. He mainly just pointed at Mark IIIs and I watched them crumple as people were screaming. It was real bad.
Dude's a bitch. You're gonna kill a Mark III, you feel it crumple beneath your fist. I've killed a lot of Mark IIIs, by the way.
Cool.
Alright, let's go kill this asshole.
Okay. He goes, 3, 2, 1. And he's gonna go, which one of us kicks down the door?
How about I just walk at the door?
Oh.
And light it on fire?
Yeah, you could probably do that just by being near it.
That would be profoundly meta.
You walk up to the door, the frame turns to cinders, catches fire. As you get nearby, the door itself begins just turning into ash and floating away from you as fire begins engulfing the room from your entrance. The 2 crack shots with readied shots are gonna fire at your head.
Sup, bitch?
That's gonna be 1 instance of 6 shock and killing, and then another instance of 6 shock and killing, both going at your head.
I'm gonna dodge.
Alright.
I dodge 1.
Absolutely. How many gobble dice do you have?
Hold on a sec.
Could he say he took his time on this dodge because he knew he was about to walk through a door?
He didn't make a perception check, and these
That's
were
fair.
technical stuff.
Just like the idea of
Stealth
taking
was
your
fucking
time,
impossible.
on dodge. Ooh,
So it's because what I was saying is
That's
like he could
how
be preparing
Timekeeper
to
do.
dodge for the
5.
next turn.
Okay. Yeah, these guys don't have much in the way of wiggle dice. You 5 gobble dice dodges both, yeah.
I'm sick.
You duck right under as the shots go right on by. You notice Sal Sr. is drawing some sort of like protective circle in the middle of the floor. Using like some sort of like black oil. There are candles. He has a tome.
I'm not gonna let him finish.
All right.
Let me just download that text file you sent me real quick.
Got it. So the second he notices you're being hostile, without even looking up at you, he is just going to raise his hand, and the fluid is going to drain from your eyes. You are now blind.
Oh yikes!
It would be. Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you wanted to spend the 10 willpower, but no, you do have heat vision. So as it was back in your hyperbolic time training with bats, you see the warm outline of heat and thermal signatures just radiating from the room. You know exactly where everyone is. Repulsion is gonna spin up, fire 2 shots, obliterate one of the crack shots. He can't really get a good beat on Sal Jr. because technically you would be in the line of fire. Or Sal Sr.
We're not killing Junior.
Yeah, I know. That's going to bring us to the next round. What are you going to do to Sal Sr. to get him to stop the circle?
So, since I was on fire, I assume I'm already at, 10 plus heat?
Yeah, you're at 10 heat, dodging with 5 hard dice. 5 gobble dice. That's a width of 5 at least. So you'd be at 15 heat right now.
Alright, I'm going to, so I have high gear only activates if I'm at 10 heat or higher.
And you are, so it is active right now.
Alright. I'm just gonna punch him in the face, I guess.
Alright. Roll brawling for me.
Um, 5 tens with 3 levels of go first.
Alright. So.
Or I could do 6 sixes. Does width matter?
Yes,
Well,
but
that's
I don't think... it'll stop him from doing... Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now. Width technically should matter, but there's a certain thing he can do where you're not going to beat him in speed. So let me just describe what happens. As you go for a punch, you hear the crack shot behind him, screams coming from his ceramic armor as it falls, and the locket on his neck burst out into a fully formed man, bones cracking into place as it takes the punch for him. So That was an empty and a fill. That's 2 sets of 2, each with go first 6.
If I did the 6 sixes, I'd have 9 width in.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so he's gonna up to 4 for that first one, or for the. So that's 3, 6, 9. Okay. So 10s beat 6s. That's a set of 6 dice he takes from his 10. That leaves him 4. He can do 2 actions after that by doing multiple actions. This is all just hard dice and wiggle dice, and he's just doing penalty dice from his normal dice, so I don't need to do any math.
Wouldn't penalty dice first come out of the hard dice?
Yeah, but he has more than 10. I really needed this mass capacity to be high. Anyway.
Okay.
The Charlie method.
So, what happens there is that leaves 2 sets. He can do 2 actions. You realize all of the windows are shut, and the area of the building that was collapsed is down a long hallway. This is almost a container. You feel...
Wait, isn't the door?
the door is burning, but there's still the hallway.
Okay.
You feel, all the way at the end of the hallway, air rushing out at high speed as it's being emptied from the environment. You feel a strong breeze emanate directly around him as the air is being refilled from his position, creating an incredibly strong breeze. As in, you are now in a wind tunnel being swept off your feet. Since you did a punch, as you obliterate the man who was brought in front of you to take the punch, his body still being reformed by the power, it just crumples like tissue paper and burns. Your footing isn't solid enough after throwing the punch to stop yourself from being just blown backwards at high speed. The wind kills any thermal rating you might have as the air doesn't get a chance to warm up. You're thrown off your feet as you think you're about to... You feel like you're in free fall for a second before you feel Repulsion's hand grab your leg. You feel your heat aura burning him, but his heavy armor is good enough that it doesn't reach him. It looks like he has a magnetic ball suspended in the air, and he's just holding on to it using magnetism.
Alright,
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna be honest. My sight right now is based off of heat, and there is no heat enough for me to see. So I'm kind of useless.
So Repulsion's gonna go, got it! He's gonna grab a ball off of his hip, he's gonna throw it, and white phosphorus is gonna just light up the office. Toxic smoke begins blowing your way. I didn't think this through!
No, you didn't. There were multiple holes in that plan.
You notice, though, that since the toxic fumes are going down the wind tunnel and emptying out, they reappear right around Sal Sr., meaning he's getting the worst of it. We hit the next round.
Okie dokie.
We're going to cut away from you guys to the splitting up of the groups. So, I'm going to say Animal just grabs onto Chivalry Mr. President, does a one trip, get both of you guys on the scene. Or sorry, Lug does that because he can do it faster and further. He's going to get you guys in. He's going to nod and go. Normally I'd offer to stick around, but I am... Is Chris still gone?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. In that case, we're gonna cut to Aunt Karenade, Bayou Bill, Cyborg, and
She's back.
okay, never mind. So, Lug, just as a for like a momentary thing, grabbed Chivalry and Mr. President just to teleport them onto the scene with Stonks before heading back out.
Alright.
So now that you're on the scene, you see why the vaqueros were having trouble. There is a literal army of these goddamn crabs. You see one the size of a building, straight up marching around, firing bus-sized artillery shells, wiping out entire chunks of building. It looks like it's mostly like yellow, white, and amber who are keeping up with Stonks. Lilac and red are firing homing bullets at him to keep him off his game. Violet is occasionally getting ambushes on him. Teal has possessed a Goliath and is ripping through the minions as best they can.
I'm gonna help her with minions, with my minions.
Okay. So you just start summoning?
Yeah.
Alright.
So anyway, I started summoning.
So, as you start summoning, you realize Stonks is actually summoning his little scuttles faster than you can summon your toy soldiers.
Okay.
As well as I can, I'm gonna try and where he's making those scars, turn those spots to glass.
Okay. He's doing several per turn, but...
I can do 5 per turn.
Okay, yep, I was about to ask. So Charlie can slowly start turning that tide, but it's going to be hard to take care of the minions that are already out and about. They haven't noticed you guys because Lug is very subtle, and he was able to sneak you guys in. The second you guys are noticed, you're going to be just borderline obliterated with artillery fire.
Got it. So I'm gonna hide, and I'll tell Chivalry, go stop that guy.
Chivalry won't even reply. He'll just shoot off after him.
Mr. President, you're going to feel a slight tap on your back. You can tell it's from someone invisible as Violet opens up a blanket, goes, get in.
I get in.
You know she has several bullets shot into this blanket, making it kind of like an invisibility cloak.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's sick.
Nice.
She's going to go, okay, the vaqueros are positioned as best we can get them. We're trying currently to try and... We need to get them towards Black. Black has a suicide shot lined up. We're hoping that'll blow him up, but this dude's tricky. It's been a while since we've met. We'd have trouble with this guy if we were on bikes, honestly.
I relay that to Chivalry. Push him towards Black. Where's Black's exact location?
She points towards a building on the edge. We wanted to get him away from town because when he shoots himself, his wound reflection attacks himself and it gets stuck in this feedback loop that, well, you'll see how bad it gets.
Okay. I'll explain that to Chivalry. I'll describe the building to Chivalry, like guide him towards that direction.
You'll kind of get the gist that Chivalry nods. He's already off after him. Chivalry, so boosters on sprint speed, they still increase that by an order of magnitude?
No, sprint speed is times 2 per booster.
Okay.
So
then Chivalry...
times 4.
Then Chivalry is moving at 240 yards per round.
That's 240 miles per hour? Okay. I'm just going to need an athletics check. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do this. One is you can make a stealth check that will basically be trying to avoid notice. The other one would be an athletics check to catch up to Stonks as fast as possible. The Vaqueros are going to be making rolls to try and lead him back towards you, or try and lead him back towards Black, whatever is more effective at that moment.
Athletics is probably better for chivalry.
Now, you can do multiple actions. If you do both, I'll be honest, these are minions. They are not the most perceptive of creatures.
I'm going to roll the body, I think.
What's up, Chris?
I was gonna say my minions should be, as long as they don't attack, should be almost invisible to these minions because they have a natural stealth.
Good to know. All right. So yeah, your minions are doing the full infiltration. I forgot about that. Thank you, Chris.
Chivalry gets 6 10s on athletics.
All right. You look at Stomps. He's currently doing some sick parkour. About 16 stories up, you see him jump out of a connecting sky bridge, throw a knife with a metal wire at the sky bridge, fire off an artillery shell to change his shot direction 90 degrees. He releases it early, shoots again. He is now suspended on a fucking wire. So he's strung up between the two buildings and running along that. You're like, yeah, I can catch up with this poser. So Chivalry just straight up runs up the side of a building at him.
Hell yeah.
How much heavy armor does Chivalry have?
With the Candy Comet, Chivalry has... Seth, Candy Comet does 5?
He is going to be back in a sec. I believe Candy Comet is 5.
If Candy Comet is 5, Chivalry has 9 heavy armor.
Awesome. All right, these things are not going to... So, I'll be honest with you. Hundreds of the little ones begin firing at you. Each one is about as strong as like a frag grenade or a minor artillery shell going off on you. The explosion is just ricochet off your armor.
Hell yeah.
It's going great until the big one sees you. It pivots, fires its cannon. I'll be honest, even at 9 heavy armor, it with a 5 penetration.
Chivalry has 5 hard dice of endless dodge.
And this thing is bigger. Okay. It has interference, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, this shot hits Chivalry, and he rolls with it. He flops about like a Kermit. Like Kermit the Frog going, yeah! Anyway. What doesn't fare as well is the building, which is annihilated completely. So you are now, there is just open air and dozens of feet around you. As you see, like, molten concrete, cluster bombs going off from this shot breaking up.
Okay. Now, I didn't think it would come up so quickly, but Chivalry takes, like, no fall damage because I calculated his terminal velocity.
That's right.
I didn't, like, he'll take 1 shock to each location, but with his armor, it basically is nothing.
Nice. So...
That's the funniest thing
so
He's a teddy bear, just...
If he's assuming he's spread eagled, his terminal velocity is something like 20 miles an hour.
I think with 9, and if you passed a athletics check this turn, you should just not take any.
Mm-hmm. Do I have any other options to get back up?
So,
like,
the biggest difficulty is honestly this big one. The rest you can dodge around, you can just ignore. They can't deal that much damage. This big one can just delete buildings, which is a real problem.
How many of my things am I having to use per turn? Am I having to use 5 to keep up with him?
Yes.
Okay. Can I be blast draining the big one?
Yes. I will say, do you want to I should ask. We can say this is done retroactively if you'd like. Do you want to target the ones that are contributing scuttlers to the current conflict, Or do you want to target the scars he's placed earlier on the blockading ships, stopping reinforcements from coming in? It looks like his strategy is literally just kill time until his power deletes the ships. And then
So I think I will do the back ones first, because those seem more important to get rid of first, and I think they'll start generating big ones faster.
Okay.
Sam, can I ask a question too afterwards?
Yep.
No, finish with him first.
Okay, so you can drain the ones at the back ships. That's fine. That will basically buy you a couple more. Like, you are no longer on a clock, but the scuttlers are going to slowly start getting bigger at the Vaquero thing. You might have to deal with more big ones. Second, you can power drain the big one, but you realize as you power drain this thing, it basically it's only going to pop one of the smaller scuttles at a time. So it's like, you will slowly wear this thing down, but it's basically like it's got a boss health bar you got to drain.
Okay.
Chris, what was your question?
So I was looking through Mr. President's sheet, and I see you added some things. I didn't realize I could build IBCMs. ICBMs.
Oh yeah, you actually do have one of those.
What?
Your officer.
It would have. It would have been stored in chivalry.
All right.
So if chivalry turns around so his back is facing the air, can he be a firing platform? Because the puppet hole is set so that he can keep stuff in between deaths.
The minions aren't going to count for observing purposes because they don't technically have eyes. That's not how they sense things.
This is the dumbest fucking thing.
It has disintegration engulf radius 2.
I gave it an actual nuke stats.
God.
Do you want to use the one you have?
It's in chivalry's hand. It's up to him. I just tell him, hey, chivalry. By the way, you have a nuke in you. By the way, if you need.
No, should we use that or should we try and set that off on the Ironmonger? Is the other question.
It's up to chivalry now. I'm leaving it up to Tom because I think that's funnier.
I mean, chivalry is currently falling, and the idea of him turning over and then just like shooting a missile like a fucking submarine, but in midair. It's just
that is pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
So chivalry will think to himself, yeah, he kind of remembers seeing something like hearing about something like this. So he decides to roll with it. He rolls over, so he's falling face first now. Thinks about accessing the puppet hole, and the missile rises up out of his back and fires.
You see a rocket about the size of an actual model rocket just fire out of chivalry going straight up. It goes actually straight up, pivots, comes straight down.
Yeah, the retro rocket fires. Fucking, like it rises up out of the water, and then the aiming rockets fire.
And it pivots right. The big one actually pivots to look at the rocket. Looks like it's loading up an artillery. And the nuke goes right down its barrel. And you just see a bright flash as it looks like the nuke is... At first, it looks like it might be contained by the big one. As you see cracks and molten iron break out. And then you just see a bright light begin flaring up from its barrel. As beams and streaks of energy reave their way out of this fucking thing. As you see it begin to blacken, and honestly, your vision kind of goes a little bit blue looking at this thing.
You shouldn't look into look at the blast of a nuclear bomb.
I will be honest.
Stats if you have eyes. Chivalry has googly eyes.
Propulsion also doesn't have eyes anymore.
Oh, can we get him some googly eyes?
So everyone in the flotilla sees the mushroom cloud as a flash brighter than anything you even conceived possible streaks out from this thing.
Turn to Ludwig and I go, we need to get the fuck out of here.
You
he's
get a
just like-
quiet radio in from Charlie. Did you guys just set off and...
You hear Chivalry scream over the comms that he had no idea. He barely understands what a nuclear missile is. He is fucking horrified.
Stonks is blown back from the shockwave, crashes through 3 windows. You just see Black toss off his invisibility cloak going, Buenos tardes, senor, and blows his own head off.
Oh, fuck.
Holy shit!
Gonna radio into Blue that we need a new Black.
If you thought the nuke was big...
Oh no.
Oh yeah, this is about to get worse. Oh no.
It's here. See what happens?
So you have 9 heavy armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is penetration 15.
Ooh.
Chivalry, no, you just got back to us, you son of a bitch! Live!
So this is going to have engulf, 10 hard dice immediately off the bat, 15 attack levels. So that's going to be at base, 25 shock and killing to all hit locations. I need to roll I need to roll about 20 area dice. So first things first, your armor is destroyed. Second
I think
things...
he's just dead, right?
Every time you say first things first, I just think of that one song.
I'm a realist.
Yeah, in classic Chivalry fashion, he dies in the first session he's back.
Jesus
so-
Christ, that's...
This area is now just a crater. Mr. President, you're further away, so we don't have to do as serious a roll for you. I'm going to need a dodge check from you right now.
Okay, I can't wait to fail this.
Can you spend willpower here?
2 dice. A 10 and a 9.
Can you spend willpower here?
What?
Okay. So,
How much damage? Just how much willpower, Sam?
So Violet's going to block she's going to use her dodge check to block the explosion from you.
She needs to protect herself, not me.
She came in here planning to die. There's a reason Blue stayed behind.
Okay.
So that gives you 1 heavy armor rating. But more importantly is the hardened light armor provided by their poncho.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short...
Oh, I have 1 level of light armor too. Fuck, I forgot.
That is hardened. Awesome.
I
All right.
cannot believe you have an actual real nuke power. Like it's just
America!
fucking nuclear missile. There's nothing. It's nothing special about it. It's just.
Just a nuclear missile that takes a whole day to make.
Now, I want to clarify. Some of that was not just Black. Half that damage was the nuke that hit Chivalry, just so we're clear. Okay, that's why that one was so extreme. That being said, I do need to roll 50 area dice real fast.
What the hell did Black do that caused that much damage?
Killed
Shot
himself.
He killed himself.
And that has that. I thought that was a specific target thing.
No.
Nope.
Black is basically living gunpowder with a wound reflection ability. He
Oh my
wounded
God.
himself.
Tom, have you learned what recursion is?
Yes.
Have you learned what recursion is?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Have you learned what? Have
Yes.
So, first things first, you're going to take 1 shock to all hit locations. That's already reduced to the minimum by the light armor. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to start listing these off by hit location.
Is there actually going to be
1
50 here?
second. 1 second. I need to.
And I was wrong. It was only about like 42 area dice.
Like that's still.
That's killing damage to these locations, right?
Yep, we're gonna treat them as one hit for each hit location.
Oh, wait. How does that work with heavy armor? If he took the candy comments, a bunch of that.
So, I basically have it so that if the area dice beats your heavy armor rating, it goes through.
Okay.
Because the book's not super clear on that, and this definitely
instead,
does.
Pop a healing candy and just make sure you have one shot at every point that you want to keep.
Okay. So you're gonna take 6 killing to the head.
Okay.
That's gonna be only 2 to your right arm. Weirdly enough. Let's see here. 7 to your torso. No, sorry.
I'm marking these out, by the way.
Next, that looks like 5 to your left arm. Nope, sorry, that's actually 8 to your left arm.
Now my legs. My legs!
I should actually put that on the soundboard.
That's gonna be. I think that's 6 to your left.
I didn't think this would go down how it did.
Sorry, I need to scroll down a little bit. There's a little bit more that was cut off at the bottom there.
Tom, we had a mission and we fucking completed it.
Oh
my god, we're literally Patrick and SpongeBob. We saved the city!
That's going to be 2 more to the right arm. I missed that. And then that's 1 more to the torso and 1 more to the left arm. So that's 4 to the right arm. I believe 8 to the torso and then 8 to the left arm.
Okay, what about the right leg?
Right leg was 9.
Right leg was 9.
So is this accurate, Sam?
I think so. I might have missed some because I used an inefficient dice roller.
I see.
Alright, so it's 2 willpower per killing. So I just need to keep 1.
You just need 1 shock in every location. You said, did you pop a healing candy?
Yes.
Okay, so that
I just have to survive.
Yeah.
When Chivalry comes back, because it was in the middle of this, can Fraggle Rock have a free dice of radiation damage?
We'll figure it out. We'll find out.
Actually, so did his nuke have radiation in it, or was it just big boom?
It does have radiation.
Oh, it does?
Shit.
Yes.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna need a doctor after this.
Remember how Charlie can eat radiation?
The anomaly can, yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that.
I know, so I'm assuming that Ironmonger's power propagates over a magnetic field, because that's in theme. I know that magnetic... I'm assuming that
Alright, I have to 15 kill, which would be 30 willpower, which... Okay, I just have to turn 1 of my 32 base willpower into 10 willpower, and I need...
Sam, most of that laughter was eaten by Discord.
We could hear it through your mic.
Alright, Sam, you took off
one fucking nuked you, you son of a bitch.
You took off 1 of my base willpower. You don't have to try harder, Sam!
No, I don't.
32! Fuck!
You're in a collapsing building, my guy.
I'm pretty fucked. Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, I didn't think... I already committed to the bit. I didn't think it would be full power. I didn't think it would be a real missile.
It's a real nuke.
Oh, shit!
Okay.
So, that was one of my secret weapons, and now they know.
So you're unconscious?
No, I am still conscious.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to need an athletics check as the building begins to collapse. Violet's just dead.
Okay. All right. Does 2 6s work, Sam?
It does not in this context.
Okay.
You're actually doing a pretty good job as, there's just molten iron raining down on your back. You're half blind, half deaf from the light and the sound that just rung out around you. You're doing pretty well until each.
Wait, can I use my command to just ignore the blindness?
No.
No.
You can ignore being upset by it, but you are blind. You're doing
Okay.
pretty well until a chunk of concrete strikes you across the back of the head. We're not going to do damage for that yet, because that's the least of your worries. You fall as you feel the floor beneath you lean a little bit, and you slide right into an open pit. It would honestly be better if you were hitting chunks of concrete or support pillars on the way down, but you just fall straight into a pile of exposed rebar. You feel several iron poles just gouging through your body as you fall into this pit. You hear the collapsing of the building as the remaining half of the building just leans and then collapses onto you in a hail of rubble.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, this is going to deal less damage than the nuke.
So if I burn another 30 willpower, I should be fine.
Probably. This is 10 shock and killing doll hit locations. Penetration, too.
Wait,
Okay.
could you just pop a candy comet?
The candy comment, I have the healing candy, so I healed technically all the way. And then I'm taking all this.
Just
So
to
heavy armor.
location.
I don't know why I even gave this penetration 2. Heavy armor doesn't reduce fall damage.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Light armor does.
I have light armor.
Yeah, so that works as normal.
I'm also immune to bleeding, so if bleeding out is a problem,
That's very important, actually.
if
I
bleeding
feel
out
like
is a
you
problem,
should
then
still be able to see if your command is over 10.
Alright, if you want to see this building fall on you, that's fine.
I want to see the impending doom.
Alright, you do.
And you just risk like permanently damaging your eyes, but considering the healing powers around, I don't think that's much of a problem.
All right, so it was 10 shocking killing to every location?
Yes.
That's worse than the other thing, Sam.
That
Wait,
was
don't you have a
25.
robotic substructure that you got before the duel?
What?
Didn't you get like some kind of...
Yep, that's the light armor I get.
Okay.
The nuke was 25 shocking killing doll hit locations. You didn't get hit by that.
Oh. You
On
were
each
talking about
location
me.
protected by heavy armor, reduce all shock damage to 1 point, and then reduce the killing damage by the hard armor.
All
That's
right.
light armor.
No, that's heavy armor.
Wait,
I'm
what the
reading
fuck?
from the book. On each location protected by heavy armor, reduce all shock damage to 1 point, and then reduce the
Am
killing.
I allowed to have both candies at once?
No, just one.
Can you
Alright, well, then I
send me
just
that? Because those are the exact rules for light armor.
It's
No,
because
no,
they're
no.
written
It's
the
not
same.
converting them to killing, or from killing to shock. They're just reducing them.
Oh. That's insane. Okay.
I am literally blown away by this fucking nuke.
Literally, yeah.
So, okay.
Oh my god.
I'd rather
I
have the
totally
healing
missed
because
that.
I can just.
Like Chivalry respawned is having the worst day of his entire 400 plus year long life. And then he just saw the brightest fucking thing he's ever seen, and he'll be back in the candy shop at midnight. It's like, this is the weirdest day he's ever had.
Man, I am having a hard time doing all this math.
I'm gonna just pin my shame real fast. Long
So I know-
rule. Seth, you corrected the GM successfully. Gain a willpower.
Sick.
Is anyone else in the flotilla being affected by the fucking nuclear missile.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
Oh no!
Stonks had so much hope. He was there like, I survived a nuke. Buenos tardes. No!
Wait, what?
Oh, so Stonks
the
was
building.
Black just blew his own head off.
He's like, I survived a nuclear missile. I'm the best survivalist ever. Oh my god, what the hell was that? You see someone shoot himself in the head and dies in an even more violent concussive blast.
Oh my god!
On tonight's episode of Hero Squad, we had double nukes.
Stonks, the man who could survive one multiple megaton explosion, but not two.
Not two.
I mean, how much did the Big Bang from propulsion actually do last week?
It basically just so the important thing is it destroyed the Mark 7's heavy armor, which disabled 90% of its powers.
Well, no, like in comparison to the double nuke.
Oh, so I'll be honest, none of the, very little of the damage actually made it to Lone Star. The Mark 7s are fucking busted.
Alright, I burned 12 base willpower. I'm still alive.
Oh!
How much
Fuck
did
you,
it last?
Sam.
Make an endurance check for radiation, and then we'll call it a scene.
I'm not gonna get that endurance check. I can't.
Wait, why? Don't you have...
I have 2, but there's no way I'll make it.
Roll it.
Can Charlie be eating the radiation? He canonically does have a piece of glass on him.
Alright, yeah, go for it.
Charlie's eating good tonight.
So, as the rubble shatters around you, you feel tons of stone collapsing your chest cavity. You realize, you think back to, weirdly enough, just the words of the Fringe Marquis, that this isn't your fight. Your fight has yet to come, and you just picture the fucking smug look on Cobb's face as your town tore itself to fucking pieces and was marched on by the Reich. You realize you're not fucking done yet.
I pull out the sword slowly.
You don't know how long you're there, but eventually you feel the rubble shift. And for a moment you're like, okay, this is it. The rubble's gonna give out, this rebar's gonna collapse, my skull's gonna get fucking crushed. Until light begins to break through as Red, one-handed, just yeets a boulder off of you. And goes, glad someone made it. Grabs you, rips you out, begins carrying you through the horrific...
I technically healed because of all of Seth's healing.
We're gonna say, yeah, okay. You're still gonna pass out because this is a lot, but...
It's quite traumatic, going from 32 base willpower to 19.
But this is also, we're gonna treat this as you passing out because a lot of time should have passed between these two scenes.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
But yeah, Red's gonna dig you out, and you're gonna heal back up, and you're gonna be back in action.
That's like a major blow to how much Mr. President's worth is all that willpower is gone.
I'm sorry, you survived 2 nukes, man!
No, I'm just saying I'm going to have to start putting points into Mr. President because I've been very much not doing that.
Okay.
He's been neglecting the boy.
Okay.
Just by your command.
The boy is okay with being neglected because, Jesus, he still had 32 base will. He didn't need help.
This is Sam getting back at me for killing his killing his one villain in one turn.
Okay, so
Gotta update my name.
from there, rewind the clock a little bit. How are you guys approaching the Ironmonger? Charlie's keeping you updated on what he's doing. He's basically looking at the stalker going, an energy signature is trained on us right now. That is the cyborg's energy cannon. If you could just look, the stalker turns his head 10 degrees looking at a point behind the Ironmonger. The Ironmonger's gonna, his fingers were resting on the ground, he's gonna wrench his hand and a chunk of the building is gonna fly off, breaking the sound barrier, hitting the building that Deputy Cyborg was in. As the energy beam goes wide, the stalker's going to go, he's in the water now. And he's just going to walk down the side of the building towards where the passed out Deputy Cyborg, or Citizen's Militia Cyborg is.
I updated my name for you, Sam.
Got it.
Considering what's happened here, shouldn't he be terrorist cell cyborg now?
He's helping.
I'm helping.
Does the double nuke going off distract Ironmonger?
That hasn't happened yet. Ironmonger is going to step out of the building onto open air, and he has apparently turned the air beneath him into solid like iron, and is just walking down the open air like a staircase.
Bill will enter stealth and attempt to sneak up on this guy.
Amp will attempt to distract from pretty far away. I can just start playing music. I'll start playing Master of Puppets. That seems like a pretty loud song.
So does he know where you are?
Sure, I'm gonna throw regeneration on myself just in case and eat the candy comment.
Alright, not even looking at you, he's going to go Leviathan's Fire coordinates A6, E2.
Fuck.
So that's going to be 3 instances of... Okay, so we're going to do each Leviathan round. Okay, so first one's first. I'm going to be rolling area dice after we do the shotgun killing, okay? The first Leviathan round is going to hit you. Is anyone else near Amp right now?
Absolutely not.
Okay. That was, yeah.
I was gonna say, Carinade's just found the edge of his range, and is just circling, trying to find a good vantage point.
Got it. Okay, so first one's gonna hit Amp. That's gonna be 6 shotgun killing to all hit locations.
Do
Okay.
they have
Fine.
penetration?
The
Flechette artillery.
hold on.
I don't see any. I don't know if I'm just missing it.
I thought it did. I might have forgotten to put it on, but if I did, that's your win.
I don't see it. Like, can you check in character making? Because I'm not seeing it.
They
sometimes
actually
we miss
do
things.
not have penetration.
So
But
that ties with Candy Comment's armor.
It grants 5?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Even with the hard dice, yeah, it's 1 short. Okay. Wow. Damn. Okay. So. Tell me what to do now. Okay, so.
Can I taunt Ironmonger?
Yeah, go for it. So the 3 shells hit your location, just dealing an incredible amount of damage, but the candy holds strong.
Wow, that was pretty weak there, Ironmonger. I don't even think I'm in range of him to hear me.
Understood. You see the candy turn iron black.
That's not good.
Leviathan's Fire round 2.
Candy's snort's just very crunchy.
Very crunchy.
That being said, everyone else is going to get a round.
Well, actually, can I get a round to hit a building back at him?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be round 2.
I'll burn 21 willpower to hit a building at him.
You might need that willpower.
Nah, I mean, it's him. It's him. He's got it.
So, Sam, what's the previous record for most willpower spent in a session? Because Chris is approaching 150.
Chris has already broken it.
I've already passed 150. I've already passed 100.
Chris has already broken the record horrifically.
Chris is approaching 200.
I am approaching 200. Okay, I fire a building at him.
Okay. So,
And I'll whisper into the thing. This would be a good time to shoot at him, guys, as he's about to be very distracted.
All right. How's the penetration on that attack?
It's.
What's the penetration of a building?
Yeah, what's the penetration of a building, Sam?
The buildings around here at their thickest probably give like. This is like a cloud at this point, so I'm gonna say like 2. I'd say like these offer 2.
Can I offer flavoring because the electric guitar does do electric damage when I slam it? Can it charge some of the rebar in the buildings?
That might make things worse for you, but for like a cool flavor thing, I'll allow it. Like,
Yes, that was more
just
of
like
the thing.
cool flavor.
Does he get hit with the traumatic though because it's got duration or
he has
no?
Machine Spirit. Machine Spirit overrides it. I'm sorry that keeps not happening, but
It's fine.
The machine spirit is strong with him. The Omnissiah is smiling
protects. So as
on him. I will reference 40k as much as possible.
the building just tears through the canal coming at him.
Wait, Sam, because it has controlled effect, could I just make a giant pit for him to fall into?
I don't think that would not help
you
you.
would. He doesn't have a range capacity, so you would have to be right next to him.
Got it. Fair enough. You got me there?
So as you hit it at him, he does have to pivot. This looks like a threat he actually has to take seriously. In a similar form of transmutation, you see the entire structure become a bit more rigid. It looks as if it's hitting a solid wall around him, as it looks like the air is just like he has a shell of solid air that the building just breaks right through. You see it get even closer as it's slowed down exponentially by the magnetism keeping this now iron mass away from him. Even that is not completely enough.
That was just a distraction, though, for Karenate to take a shot. At least I hope so. That's up to Karenate.
He just slightly raises up one of his arms, and the shrapnel and the remaining building he cleaves through it. It looks like he didn't need to roll anything to block that. It looks like his passive defenses were enough to nullify at least the vast majority of that attack. But the magnetism that the Goliaths have is a consumable resource, and it looks like you've just burned through that this round.
Karenate.
Also, Bill. Bill's technically there.
Kaboom.
Bill is in stealth, and I guess he's somewhere around the situation.
All right.
What's his range? I forget. 500?
Bill's range is currently 51 yards.
Karenate's range is currently 3 miles.
I don't think you should be that close, Bill. I think you
Just bite the iron heart.
Wait, how close is? Well, where's Avogdra in relation to all of us?
She is staying about as far away as she can, so like further away than Amp. She is waiting
Reasonable.
for basically animals keeping guard over her, a safe distance away.
Good. Trust animal.
Okay. So, Bill, I'm gonna say he's pinned down enough with the building. The building has destroyed his air platform, so he's falling and landing. He's gonna be in the same location for a little bit. That's gonna give you enough time to work your way up to him. If Carronade wants to fire a shot, I just need to know how that's gonna go.
Okay, give me a second. Do do do. Four tens with. Give me a hot second. Plus 2 attack levels, radius 4, penetration 2,
So
and engulf.
so width of 4, pen 2.
Yeah.
That does not do it. His armor is slightly upgraded over the base Leviathan. Goliath.
Wasn't he targeting the Ironheart?
You have to beat his heavy armor rating to beat the Ironheart.
Yeah. So. Don't worry, guys. I will roll more than one.
Is Bill close enough to try biting?
So.
I don't think Bill should do this. I think Bill's gonna die if he does this. You're too close to him.
You do have... You are within bite range if you would like to try it.
Oh, by the way, Bill, you should be all the way healed because I would have healed and regrown any limbs you lost.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to know what I rolled?
Yes.
8, 3, 4, 9, 2, 10, 7.
That's unfortunate.
That sucks.
No matches.
How did you know my social?
I will say, to hit the 4 chart, you're going to have to do a called shot. I didn't mention that because I thought Carronade was just doing an attack on him. You're going to take 1 penalty dice to do a called shot on the 4 chart because it's a small target.
I'm going to attempt to do that with Bill.
What is
I know how to
the
take a cold shot.
what is the number you have to hit to target it?
So technically speaking, I'm going to say any number works because this thing is technically a separate hit silhouette.
Gotcha.
It just has defenses.
Height or width for this?
You're going to want width because you have to beat a shit ton of heavy armor. Keep in mind, cold iron. You're going to roll normal dice.
All right, let me roll again. I can't believe I forgot that shit. That's still pretty fucking lucky, though. How about 7 4s?
7 4s. What's your penetration?
Penetration is 4, 5 attack levels, and 3 go first.
You rolled 10 dice and got a match of 7 dice?
Yeah. I'm a fucking luck sack.
What the fuck? Okay.
I'm a piece of human garbage, Sam.
It's literally the exact opposite of 5e for you.
Jesus, how much damage does this do?
It 7 4s, 5 attack levels, 4 penetration.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this to work. Alright, so the goblin maw fucking streaks out and rips the forge heart from the ironmonger's suit. You hear a screaming of wires. You see several like backup generator looking things kick on. You hear screaming. I do want to remind you guys the Ironmonger's one of the guys you need to keep alive, but
What?
he was one. He was
thought,
on the list of alive guys.
Oh, I thought he was on the list of
Yeah, I was pretty sure he was on the list of bad guys.
Okay.
Just getting my notes.
Did that just break the floor chart, or?
I mean, if we just fucked up, then we fucked up. But I was pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If it didn't break it, but you said Bill snatched it, does that mean Bill is holding it now?
Yes. It is not broken.
All right.
So Bill has it now.
So the three guys you were supposed to keep alive were the Fringe Marquis, Ironmonger, and Cayman. The message was posted on May 23rd, 2022.
Okay.
All right, well, we have a bargaining chip against this boy now. Presumably, I don't know how Avogdra would feel about that.
You don't. Oh, never mind. Actually, should we just offer the floor chart back if they leave?
Well, no, but then we would have to deal with Avogdra.
The Vogdra's not currently kept in the loop. Only Animal and Lug are. And you know they
I would
are...
assume that Avogdra is aware of this, considering she was aware of the forge heart from so far away.
She could hear it screaming. That's about it. But yeah, you're holding this bright engine of creation in your mouth, and then I presume hand.
Yeah.
Now keep it in your mouth.
Bill got enough room in there for it? How big is this thing?
About the size of like a polo ball.
That means nothing to me. Please give me a diameter.
Can we...
Don't worry about it.
Volume.
This is
Two baseballs.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! I thought this was the Iron Dragon, not the Iron Monk. Oh, fuck.
Okay, well, we got the Ironmonger's thing. Bill's going to hold it in his mouth for the time being, because Bill can swallow a basketball if he needs to. And,
Well, that was just me misreading my notes. Sorry, guys.
was bound to happen eventually.
Is he dying, or is he just deactivated for the
His
time being?
power is deactivated. He is turning to face Bill. He is going to say, "It has been years since someone's managed to sneak up on me like that. Kudos. What now?"
Offer it back if he leaves. Offer it back if he leaves.
Bill will now remove it from his mouth, wipe it off while talking to him, and say, "If I will give it back to you if you leave and cease this attack on the flotilla."
Roll persuasion.
No, that's Bill's worst one. Oh, no.
You can spend 2 willpower to get 2 bonus dice if you like.
Bill has 2 willpower.
You
It's
can
like
spend
Sam
one.
knows.
Sam, in all fairness, I do need to remind you that you need to do the Death of Amp because I did get Leviathan fired a second round in a row.
We'll get to that. That hasn't happened.
Actually, I was going to say that hasn't happened. We haven't gotten to that second round.
Oh, has?
So,
Okay, then I might live.
I don't want to go to 0 willpower, and Bill has 7 base will, so I don't want to spend that.
Just
Yeah.
convert a base will to willpower. I mean, this is the time. This is the time to burn it.
But then Bill will be at 6.
I don't know what that means.
That is how math works.
Bill will have 6 base will, and that seems scary low.
It's only
But
scary
Charlie
low.
has 5.
Yeah, it's
I'm
only.
at 1.
It's only scary. Fuck.
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
Together, in the last 3 sessions, we must have spent something like converting it. We must have spent 1,000 willpower, right?
Probably not.
No.
Okay, no, I didn't
no.
spend it. I converted it into base will.
You mean
Okay.
into regular will?
Yeah, regular will.
So
Sorry.
then, converted, the number of willpower points that have been spent must be at least 500. Let's say that.
Probably.
spend
Let's get
any
that
of
number higher!
Yeah, just Listen, I think this is
Let's
where
make it bigger.
6 is not that bad. The only reason Mr. President's is so high is because he has high command and high.
If you
charisma.
really want to do it, you can burn a base wheel to roll 1 wiggle dice.
That seems like a poor choice.
I'll just.
That's
Well, actually,
worth it.
if you're no.
No, I might have to though because Bill only has 1 charm.
Can he get a die for taking his time?
No. He will get a dice for having the forge heart. That is a big bonus. Tell you what, get 2 bonus dice for having the forge heart as collateral. That's a huge
Okay.
deal.
All right. Let me try this. Let's see if I can get there without spending any.
You have to spend willpower before you roll.
Why?
Just spend it.
Okay. Can I spend 1 willpower for 1 dice?
Yes.
Okay.
The base will is the one
Nice.
you can spend whenever. Normally,
2 6.
Oh fuck! He's gonna look at you and go. Is the game still alive?
Charlie will radio in, yeah.
Bill will say, "Yes, he is."
I trust him. You have my word. He holds out his hand.
Because he's big
I'm
and
going to phone in the Cayman and ask if he will leave if we get that back.
He's gonna stop and go. You actually talked to. I've never known him to break his word.
We took the forge heart out of his chest. Is what I'm.
Oh, you did what? Give it back. Give it back right now.
all right. Bill will. Considering he's big and Bill's small, do I need to make an athletics check to get this back into his hand?
No, he's crouching.
Okay. Bill will hand it back to him.
He's going to gently place it back in its socket. You're going to hear the hum of energy. He's going to nod, reach out to shake your hand.
All right. Bill will reach out to shake.
Suplexes you.
He's going to sucker punch you in the chest. Take 1 shock as he lightly taps you with his pinky.
All right. Bill takes 1 shock.
The Ironmonger walks into the sea.
He yells after him, "You've a very strong handshake, sir."
As he turns, the nuke goes off.
What a fucking timing!
It's been 1 round. That's when it was supposed to go off.
Oh fuck!
He's gonna stop at that.
It's not 1; it's 2 nukes, right?
Yeah, the second nuke goes off a second after. He's like, he just puts up his hand like, what the fuck? He's gonna look at Bill and go, was that you? Was that your group?
Was that us? Carity just yelled
Just so
from
weak.
3 miles
That
away.
was us.
Bill looks fucking horrified, and he says, I don't. Oh man, we gotta get underwater." But like Bill's like, "Oh shoot, we gotta get underwater to avoid the radiation." Holy fuck!
The Ironmonger's gonna go, wait. He's gonna take out a piece of tinfoil, write an order, and go, let's stay in touch.
Absolutely.
The Ironmonger goes into the ocean. You see an order for 12 nukes. And or a contact number to negotiate.
Wait. What do you mean by that, Sam?
He wants 12 nukes.
Oh.
Okay. Bill
Must
will
be able to
put
fire
this
him.
card into his wallet, and then he'll just run into the water to avoid the radiation.
As you do, you see a breeze just rip out from above. Now, I want to point out, this is not a full-size nuke. This is a nuke you would fit inside of a model rocket. But still.
Yeah, I have on a good authority that Bill can survive a 5 megaton blast, no more, but also no less.
As far away as the Ironmonger fight is, it's like a stiff breeze. But it, like, you see it rip a few carts, a few units off of buildings, windows shatter, glass rains down. Nothing's on fire this far out, but it hurts.
By the way, I am immediately going to go send the anomaly to the nuke zone.
It's gonna go vacuum up
It's going to have a nice meal.
yeah.
Does Bill get into the water fast enough to avoid taking damage?
Yes.
Just
I assume everyone was out of range.
wait. You gotta keep the anomaly with me and fucking Red, or else we're dead. Because we're walking away from this.
Luckily, Sweet Tooth's candy does cure disease, too, which I believe counts for radiation poisoning, because I think we've already used it for that purpose once.
Find out, yeah. I think it does. So, as you come back out of the water, you guys see the southern half of town is pretty much on fire. There is a crater where the main entrance to town used to be.
It's filled with water now.
It's just filled with water.
Interesting question for Charlie. Can I see where the other floor chart is?
Not without a floor chart of your own. Like,
Okay.
with your amped state, yeah, you could. Not currently, though. Speaking of... Yeah, so we're gonna cut. In the wind tunnel, the noxious fumes are building up.
Yeah.
You can see, again, propulsion. You can see the outline of Sal Senior.
All right, good enough for me.
Repulsion's gonna like try and angle you onto your back, or his back, and he's gonna like take another one of his Newton cradle balls, shoot it forward, freeze it in the air, and reach forward and grab it like a rock climber as he begins inching forward.
His power is dope.
He's gonna go take the shot whenever you can, man. So this shot's gonna have, due to bad angle and due to bad angle and general difficulty presented by the wind tunnel, this shot is gonna have 2 penalty dice on it.
High gear and heat sink.
Okay. Repulsion is going to use his turn to put a hand on you, magnetically torque himself so he can throw you. Let me know the width and how fast it goes.
All right. You said 2 penalty dice, right?
Yes.
I still. Yeah. Yeah. Hey-ya! 6 9s with 3 levels of go first. That's 9 width in speed again.
Oh shit. Okay, so that's gonna be Sal Senior's entire turn, but he's gonna use everything he's got to. Well, he has a lot to go first, but basically what's going to happen is he is going to. He did all of the emptying with his right hand. This time he's going to point at you with his left. This one isn't as fast. It looks like his right hand is his dominant hand, but he does his left, and a metal pole. You feel something shift in your lungs as a metal pole rips itself, one end straight out through your ribcage, one going right next to your spine as it digs itself into the floor and ceiling, stopping your fist an inch away from his face as he throws himself back.
I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh hysterically and just say, "You think this is bad? I had a molten I-beam go through my entire chest!"
Not gonna lie, he's still pretty composed, but he is now taking this fight seriously. You're gonna take 6 shotgun killing to your torso, by the way. This is done. It's gonna be treated as non-physical. And your left lung is going to be treated as ruptured. It can no longer be treated as a container.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. The laughing is going to be punctuated with "Ah!" from the pain.
So Sal Senior looks like he's about to point at something else when a bright flash rings out, and every window in the facility is blown open by the force of the nuke.
That's handy.
Yay! My actions have consequences.
They're not all bad.
Yay! Does it throw Sal Senior off?
It does. He loses a dice due to the distraction, and he points at something, and just nothing happens. So instead, he's going to make a break for the window. You see him grab some. You see him try and grab something off of his desk, but he fumbles and he doesn't manage to grab that last item.
Shouldn't he have no dice left?
He doesn't. That's why it failed. He's just using his movement. That's all. So you're gonna have to break your way out of this pole. The air tunnel is dying down, so Repulsion is picking himself up.
Get him! And I'm just gonna just drag the pole out of my chest and use boosted metabolism.
All right. Tell you what. You used the heat sink ability that warms things up, right?
I use the heat sink ability when making an attack.
Okay, we're gonna say you were able to swing your fist down and hit the pole. So as your fist hits the metal pole, it instantly kind of melts, freeing you from the floor, letting you kind of angle yourself down, drag the top pole from the ceiling. I'm gonna need a brawling check to rip the rest of it out of you and free yourself up completely.
Do you have healing candy or armor candy running?
Bob's not planning on living, you realize that, right?
I have so much healing. I have an innate healing ability now. So, Sam, what's the width on the,
Any
check?
success on the pole, so like 2 ones would get the pole out of you.
I have 4 wiggle dice and brawling.
If you still want to do multiple actions and try and do other things, that's also cool. Like, you can just do multiple actions, set one aside to get the pole out, and then use a reduced action to do other stuff.
I'd still like to do boosted metabolism.
Cool. That'll take 3
And-
heat and heal 3 shock and killing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was close to 20 heat at this point. Anyway, so...
Cool.
The heat sink and the boosted metabolism was just to get me down. And I'm gonna use my movement to follow Repulsion,
Alright.
following Sal Senior.
So Repulsion manages to get up. That's gonna technically tick us off to a new round. Sal Senior's gonna vault out of a window. You're gonna see Repulsion going, "No, you fucking don't!" He's gonna spin two of his Newton cradle balls all the way up his arm until they're red hot and forming a solid ring. He's gonna swing his hand, and you're gonna see a molten metal ring just rip through the side of the building, destroying the entire wall. Sal Senior goes into a free fall. He's gonna use his athletics instead to try and stick the landing. And he's also going to throw some dice onto dodge into multiple actions. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna jump after him.
All right. Is that just movement then brawling?
I was gonna say movement, then athletics to stick the landing with him.
Got it. Yeah, go for it.
Right, I'm not trained in athletics, so
Yeah.
I'm trained in endurance.
Enjoy the fall. Take a look.
2 9s.
All right. So, lighter than someone his age should really be able to hit the ground, Sal Sr. hits the shipping container. Just on his feet, barely bending at the knees. 2 9s. You hit it and you're already charging at him. Repulsion is just floating down on one of his Newton balls. He'll be there next round.
It's really bad for your knees, you know.
Sal Senior's just gonna go, "I've lived through worse," and he's gonna just palm down. You hear a hollow thud as you realize you've landed on a half-submerged shipping container. This is gonna be a Wild West kind of draw thing. What do you want to roll here? Just rolling?
Brawling, high gear, and heat sink.
Got it.
Come on, give me more than 2 matches. Fuck. 6 7s with 3 levels of go first. 9 with.
All right. Yeah, that just barely doesn't make it. He slams his hand down on the shipping container. Telephone poles begin ripping their way out of the shipping container. No, actually,
I used heat sink, so they'd melt.
he's not gonna do telephone poles because he wouldn't have. That wouldn't. Sorry, his power is very complicated, and I just realized mathematically this one wouldn't work. So instead, he's going to fill it with water. So how this is going to work is he's going to slap the container. You're going to hear a hollow thud that becomes like a reverb. Basically, what happens is the shipping container warps under your feet, causing your fist to just go slightly wide. He's still in range of the heat aura. And you see his hair catch fire. You see his suit turn to cinders. He's going to take that damage. And the shipping container is going to explode as tons of water just erupt out in a geyser. As it hits you, you turn to steam. It feels like acid on your body with the heat differential.
That's brisk, baby!
You are blasted several stories upward, and there is a massive cloud of steam obscuring Sal Senior's position. You hear Repulsion fire off several magnetic shots, screaming, "I can't see him! I can't find him!" I will say, this smoke is room temperature. Your heat vision will light him up if you can just get in range and find out a vague idea of where he is.
Yeah, that's same. I'm essentially blind if I'm more than 10 yards away from him. Actually, that's 30 feet. How many stories am I up?
About 2 or 3.
I can see him.
Oh yeah, that's 10 yards. Shit. He's moving pretty fast. He is heading towards, well, it's a house you guys have never been to, actually. You never seen Sal Sr. in his personal life, but he's heading towards a home.
What direction? Like cardinal direction?
North.
I'm just gonna scream north and kick off the wall of the central repository.
Got it. Okay, so Repulsion's gonna take out a bag of bolts and lug nuts. You're gonna see them spin and levitate in the air. He's just gonna swing his arms, and just a massive spray metal flak just tears through that area. As the smoke clears a second or two later, Sal Jr. is Sal Sr. is hunched over, bleeding pretty badly. You notice one of his legs has just been almost completely shredded. He's breathing heavily. Repulsion looks scared to approach. He goes, I don't know what other fucking tricks he has. How careful should we be?
Well, I start walking towards Sal Sr.
He's gonna look at you and go, so what turned you into a fucking traitor?
Absolutely nothing. Our deal concluded. If you remember, our deal was I patrol your border and I kill Iron Legion. In return, I get revenge. I patrolled your borders. I killed 20 Mark IIIs. And I got revenge. That's our deal.
He's gonna laugh, and go, do you mind if I grab a cigarette before this all goes down?
Oh, no, please, no, don't pull this last second bullshit and then pull something else out. Repulsion, get over here, get your catharsis or whatever the hell you're looking for.
He goes, alright, got it, boss! He, trots over like a happy puppy. As soon as you say it, go, pull anything. No. He puts his hands up. My hands are empty.
I hate you.
And he's going to activate his power. He's going to fill your right lung with about 2 tons of gasoline.
You think I give a shit, and then my right lung explodes.
So you guys see a third massive explosion.
God damn it!
We saved the city, Patrick!
I don't think this one will be as big.
Well, actually, I'm fireproof.
It's a gasoline bomb, so it's not that destructive. It just looks really. It looks
really bad.
It's a big flash, and I'm immune to all of it.
You do take 6 shotgun killing from the lung rupture, though.
Cool.
And the explosion's just gonna knock you back a little bit. Repulsion's gonna look at Sal Sr., look at you, and he's gonna move to catch you as you're flying through the air.
I'm going to boost his metabolism and just choke out, kill him.
You said choke out and kill him?
No, I said choke out, because my lungs are still
okay.
reforming.
I misheard you.
It's just a kill him.
Got it. Okay. Sal Senior is hobbled. He's on the black stone of the home. Repulsion's gonna go. I can't do this again, and he's gonna instead take out a white nail and dig it into you. He's gonna try. It like pins your lung shut, and it barely lets you breathe. It feels as if the nail itself is doing the breathing for you, more so than it's actually healing your lungs.
I'm going to take a healing candy. I think I'm down to 4.
Yeah. He's gonna charge. Stop.
I'm gonna grab him.
Okay.
Just gonna
Sal
go.
Senior's gonna body the door down. Use his arms to crawl his way in. What do you say to him?
He's on home turf now. Just... I don't like that it's made of a different material than everything else.
So with that third explosion, does the rest of the party catch up to... Do you use Animal and Lug to teleport you guys over?
Absolutely not for Mr. President. No. Absolutely not. I used the equivalent of 132 XP today for Mr. President. Absolutely not, Sam.
Okay, fortunately, Red is carrying you, and there's no way in hell he's staying behind, so he's going to take you with him.
So Amp will go, but not Mr. President.
Lug's going to come to carry you guys. Lug does one of his stopover teleports, and Red's going to go, you want me to leave you here? But... Look.
I cough up blood. What are we gonna do? By the time we get there, I mean, it's gonna be over. I mean, the Iron, like, I'm gonna guess we can tell the Ironmonger's gone based on Charlie.
Yeah.
Like, let's start getting the Vaqueros back.
Son, the job's not done. One of your friends just got hit with a fucking gas explosion. I recognize those fumes. Something's amiss. And while I'm not trying to project our socio-political, social situation onto your group, everyone needs a friend. A group needs its leader. It needs someone to hold them up when they're down. And the closest I can find here to that is you, buddy.
All right, let's go. Convince me with that beautiful Southern accent.
He grabs you. Lug teleports you in. Propulsion, how would you brief the, first things first. So everyone, you see, Propulsion absolutely torn to pieces, an Iron Legion member crouched over him, stabbing a nail into him.
Did they see him turn and run towards the house and then me just stop him and go, I don't like that he's on home turf?
Yeah, I'm just...
And that material is different from everything else
It'll-
around here.
Is
Sam, quick question.
Bill at this scene?
Yeah.
A very quick question. With a building, a nuke and 2 nukes going off of me, I just realized I only wear a suit. And I really don't think that suit survived. And I worry I might be naked in the scene now.
So, Red does have a spare poncho. He hands you the turquoise poncho, as long as you promise to give it back after.
I will definitely give it back.
If you go over to the nuclear shadow, that's the only thing remaining of chivalry. You might find some fabric that fell out of the puppet hole with the with the missile fired.
I think
Fell
that
out with
that's
And, what's the situation, Propulsion?
Hey everybody! This right here's Repulsion. He helped me kill Lone Star. I'm helping him kill Sal Sr. for personal reasons.
Bill will ask Repulsion, I've seen one of those nails before. How long does he have in this state?
I don't know. Metallurgist never told me.
And we'll
Alright.
go infinite time, and then I will regrow all of your limbs.
Is Sal dead?
No, he's in that house doing weird shit. Oh, by the way.
Your lungs are back.
Oh, by the way,
100% in character.
By the way, I assume there's something incriminating on his desk up there. I point at the office we were just in.
Really, we'll take a peek.
Go take a peek.
You notice that he tried to grab the ashtray that the Spanish doubloon was in.
I was gonna say, if it's some bullshit like a picture of his son, I'm quitting.
No.
Come on.
No.
That's not this kind.
You notice that as the ash has been knocked out, the ashtray actually had a number of arcane sigils inscribed on its base that the ash had been covering up. The doubloon is nowhere to be seen.
All right, let's go in the house.
Bill will walk up towards the house.
Do y'all want the house to be glass?
Amp could just destroy the house.
Do you guys want it to be glass?
I don't think any of this is gonna be that simple, but go ahead.
To which one?
Yes.
Yes.
You turn it into glass, and then I'll fucking slap it.
I don't think any of this is gonna be that simple, but go right ahead, knock your socks off.
Yeah, I'll hit it with a 2 glass.
Alright, you see the glass is spreading out slower than anticipated, but spreading out slowly. Does Amp wait for it to spread out, or do they just fucking rip it?
Oh, God.
I don't think Amp's patient.
Yeah, Amp is not patient. No. I was going to be like, Chris would like to wait, but no, Amp would not wait.
Alright, so Amp takes the guitar, hits the door, and the false division between spaces breaks apart as you hit the door. The building expands outward in pieces as darkness encapsulates the entirety of the flotilla. As you guys find yourself on a sleek obsidian floor, the screaming of the singularity above you, as you see a bleeding Sal Sr. placing a forge heart onto Mammon Gray's desk.
You absolute cock gobbler.
Is he in range of Amp?
Time seems to be a little bit shaken. It seems like you guys are unable to move at the moment.
This scene, except for Charlie, knows who this is.
Actually, is Charlie even in this scene? Or was I... Because I was leaving the flotilla.
Tell you what. It was technically everyone in the flotilla could be hit by this. Do you want Charlie to be in this scene?
Honestly, not really. Like, Charlie was trying to get out. It would make sense that he was trying to move Sal Jr. out.
Alright.
So I don't think he'd be there.
Charlie and Sal Jr. are not present for this scene.
Question.
So there's nobody here who knows who Mammon Gray is.
Correct.
Cool. Question.
I'm just gonna...
I still have the obsidian dagger that cannot be affected by powers. Can I move because of that and just hand it to Repulsion and tell him to finish the job?
That's not quite how that one works.
Not how it works. Okay. All right.
That would be very broken.
That would be very broken. Just hoping.
You see Mammon Gray hold up a finger. In a second, dear. As he turns to Avery. As I was saying, the conditions of your employment have not yet concluded. As he takes out the 2 pages of the complaint he had yet to show. The first one was he tore a brief page off about the waterlogged, and the second was the page on the Lord of the Drowning Folk.
Avery will take out the compliant key and put them back into the book.
No.
Oh,
No, these
Avery
are
still
mine.
has the book with him.
You notice he's torn the pages a little bit, and you see like pages within pages where he got a little bit of extra info, such as, for example, the Lord of the Drowning Folk's true name.
Uh-oh.
And Avery's full name, as Avery is now the current host of the Lord of the Drowning Folk.
Uh-oh.
Which means
SpaghettiOs.
Mammon Gray owns Avery's true name.
Avery will look at him and say, "This is quite fair, my friend. You were able to trick me quite effectively."
I'm glad we see eye to eye on this. I will need your assistance momentarily, but for the moment, stand by. In the
Absolutely.
meantime, I have a second contract I need to call on. And he pulls out a sheet of paper marked with the Walter J. Hughes Corporation logo, takes out a stamp, stamps it. Sweet Tooth, you appear in the darkness.
Where? Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have seen this coming.
Hey, Sam. How much willpower would I have to burn to not to be able to move?
You can move again right now.
Oh.
We all can?
Yeah, as soon as Sweet Tooth is here, you release it. Mammon Gray, you just see him saying, "I just wanted to make sure they had someone who actually could explain who I am."
I'm just gonna march over towards Sal Senior and go, "Hey, quick question. Are you done with him?"
This one? Oh, no. We have a few deals to make. But once we're done, I assure you he will face the consequences you have ready for him.
I feel like I shouldn't trust you,
I give Repulsion the knife.
so I'm not gonna.
Finish the job.
I'm just gonna quietly. I don't know what's going on, but maybe don't try that in here. This is well, I don't know who of you remember Inventor, but this is basically the god Inventor worshipped.
Mammon Gray's just gonna
Okay.
go, ouch.
I don't know what that means, but it makes me angry.
It's a bit unflattering, but I'll take it.
Avery will turn and look to everyone and say, "My new lord is the god of deals."
Let's not use the D word here. There's not fairly
Sorry,
good.
someone leaving just fucking got me good.
I lagged out, and then it was funny. Last I heard was Bob lagging out. I was like, "Bob, you're lagging out." And then I said, "Oh, I think I'm lagging out because no one's responding to me." And then I left.
So Mammon Gray is going to go. This will be easier if we sequester things. How about this? Suddenly there are 3 Mammon Grays standing in front of you, and the room warps a little bit. One
I don't like this.
is standing over with Sal Sr. One is standing off to the side by the Singularity, and one is standing with you guys. Now,
Does you guys include Avery?
yes.
Okay.
Now, let's just talk. And we're going to end the session right there.
Hell yeah.
Alright, everyone gained 1 experience.
All right, that's 1 experience to the 132 I spent.
You did survive, though.
Oh yeah, that's why I changed my name to Guy Who Survived 2 Nukes.
Chris just stays winning. Just stays on top. Alright,
Still winning.
first things first, who stayed in character best this session?
Each person had their own scene, and they did really well in their own scene. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like this is another session where it's just 2 per.
2 per? Alright,
Yeah.
2 per.
Do people agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying.
Are any NPCs in this event with them in gray?
So they are kind of still frozen. It looks like he had no interest in really speaking to them, but you might be able to, like, talk him into it if you'd like.
No, I don't want to talk with it. There's just a thing that I don't really know what you want to have happen there, but there's a thing that hasn't happened yet. Which is Lug still has a canteen full of what remains of Oslo, and Bill, at a loss, said he should get it to Avery. And I don't know if Avery knows that Lug is carrying that at the moment.
I don't think Avery would have known he was supposed to get him to him.
It could be found out.
But
Okay.
Bill would know.
So, thoughts on the session?
It was a rough
We,
session.
we saved the city, Patrick.
I didn't
That is,
expect to see a session where a character got.
the city.
I wasn't expecting to see a character get more fucked up than Bill did last session.
You know, I was doing the math and I was like, I have enough, but Jesus Christ, this is expensive.
Hey guys, I don't have a chest cavity anymore. Oh, there it is.
Don't need it. Was holding you back.
I'm
still
really
stand
glad
by.
you survived in taking the Iron Heart because Amp would have totally died. Would have totally died if they had taken that Leviathan fire.
Yeah.
I don't like the image of Bill being able to grab shit with his mouth. Like, it makes sense, but it's visually, I'm not happy about it.
So we're gonna put another nuke in Chivalry, right?
We put another nuke. We put another gasoline bomb in.
You should wait and see how Chivalry reacts when he respawns.
I think it's so fucking funny. You know, usually I imagine your puppet hole like in your ass, but this one time I actually imagined it where you said it is, and it was way cooler.
What I was kind of imagining the way that Chivalry moved. Do you remember at the... Did you watch the SpongeBob movie, the first one?
Yeah.
I'm imagining that thing that fucking David Hasselhoff does where he rises up on his back, his pecs open up.
That's kind of what I was imagining too.
The control.
You know, I think Chivalry now has the highest kill count because he killed all those minions.
I mean,
Oh yeah, because Chivalry how many willpower did Stonks have, Sam?
He had 6.
do we,
So it was Chivalry fired it, but Mr. President's power. Do we both get 3 willpower for that?
Well, Black technically killed him.
All right. Well, I'm still gonna have
Black-
Chivalry get some willpower for this, as per the rules of the book.
We'll split it 3 ways. Each get 2.
That
Alright.
I could use it.
Yeah.
so I have a question
Yeah.
based the kill count question. How many metal iron drakes were circling the?
Ooh, probably a couple thousand.
I think propulsion runes can kill count.
I don't know what Propulsion did last that session because it wasn't here. But
He destroyed all of the Iron Dragons Iron Dragons at Throw Portal.
There was a cloud of iron drakes circling the repository, and Propulsion annihilated all of them.
yeah.
In
By the way,
Dojo.
my bad, guys. I misread my notes. It's the Iron Dragon we have to kill, right? Right,
Yes.
Sam?
Yes, you have
Okay.
He didn't die.
Didn't
So
die,
we're good.
but we were pretty close to
the
killing.
most important persuasion check. He was
What would
absolutely going to try.
My favorite part was you're like, I only have 7 base willpower, and Bob just goes, I have 1! Oh fuck! This was a session, Sam.
So,
I feel very stressed out having to delete 132 willpower.
so I have 2 new characters to make.
Oh,
Is
really?
one of them
Are
just gonna
you
be
retired
Persians?
from it?
Well, no, I want to make them as backups in case
Gotcha.
people die.
I mean, so are you planning on replacing Propulsion? Because it sounds like without his gloves, he's kind of burned out somewhat. Or did his points get replaced with his fire training stuff?
His points got replaced with Burning Blood.
Gotcha.
So
So he's still a real boy.
he's still a real boy. And I mean, even without his power, he's kind of a real boy?
I want to say
Plus with-
Propulsion is currently a very fucking real boy. I get like high gear and heat sink are very strong. They didn't go off super like heat sink makes his fists have +3 go first and burn, and
Okay.
high gear does that. Heat sink, if he hit anyone he hits, just gets hit with fucking 5 shock and killing it all. Just free.
Got it. That's rough.
I need to write some stuff for how Chivalry's going to react when he respawns, because that is the most abrupt death he's ever experienced.
My favorite part, he was like alive for just an hour. Like literally just 1 hour.
Even.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like 15 minutes tops.
Get back in there.
Get back in there, champ. Get back in there, champ.
Lug doesn't know that Animal still has a fucking watch. We could summon Chivalry again.
Is Animal still alive?
Animal is still alive.
So did anyone but Jeremy die? And Oslo, I guess.
All of the Vaqueros
shit.
except red and blue.
Did anybody
Yeah.
pick up Tiny Boat?
No.
We had no one close to Tiny Boat.
Fuck.
We need to remember, if someone could write it in their notes, pick up Tiny Boat. Actually, just write it in here and pin it.
So I do think it is important to note that like part of the terms were that Ironmonger call off the attack. So I think we're done with that.
It
Sam,
should
about
be
the-
noted that Ironmonger technically has no jurisdiction over the Cayman because they're different divisions and equally ranked,
Gotcha.
which is why he was okay with it as soon as he heard the Cayman was still alive.
If Tiny Boat is still alive, Chivalry can fix it. Chivalry has a healing or has a repair power for non-mechanical, non-biological targets. He can lay on Silver Hands and fucking fix our boy. The boat will live.
I'm sorry, did you make that specifically to fix the boat?
No, it's
Yes.
because I wanted Chivalry to have his own healing power too.
Okay.
Is Chivalry now radioactive?
That's a question.
No, because I think it's fresh every time he comes back, right?
Yeah, and if he uses lay on Silver Hands on himself, he would that removes all long-term effects too, so he wouldn't have any radiation. But Fraggle Rock is indestructible, and I need to know if that means it just gets a point. Can I have it do a dice of radiation damage, Sim? I need this.
I'll think about it.
Alright, I
Thank
gotta
you.
join the other call. Dad's asking for help.
All right, see you, Chris.
See ya.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That was a session and a half. Will we get any willpower for completing this arc?
A little bit, but technically the arc is done when you take the refinery.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm just curious if Fringe Monkey actually died, because I'm like pretty sure he didn't. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know enough about Dumont or French Marquis. I'm assuming they're both still alive.
That's my thought. With a thing that I know about Dumont, it wouldn't make sense were he dead.
with what I know about what this part of the basis that part of the the series of books that Derek partially uses inspiration, and would it make sense for him to be dead? I do need to reread those now, actually.
So would you say this fight is harder or easier than expected?
Definitely harder overall.
I'm back.
So, actually, it's a lot easier than I expected it to be.
How bad were you expecting it to be, Bob? Out of curiosity.
I was expecting Propulsion to just straight up die against Lone Star, and Carronade to be picked off by a couple of Goliaths and Leviathan killers.
Sam, how badly did we overkill some situations?
I want to say... The only one that was really overkill was Prime Ministers Sinister and Xander. They didn't take a lot.
What about what happened to... Who was even the one that Amp just...
Prime Minister Sinister.
That was, yeah.
And that was more me fucking up.
I feel like Stonks died about the most violent, unreasonably ridiculous death that he could have.
That was
I
pretty...
love the moment of realization, like, hey, why do I have a nuke?
I hate that if I had just rolled one more of any number tonight while attacking Sal Sr., I might have been able to hit him.
You would have.
When I created the character of Evil Avery, I truly did not expect I forgot that the compliant key was full of all kinds of information. I did not even think about that.
I've been planning that for so long.
So how long ago was the crossover?
Basically, the second I thought... So, basically, Tom, you said if Avery gave in, you said he would be susceptible to true name stuff. The second you said that, I started hatching this plan.
Nice.
Yeah, like, it's if you know the true name of the Lord of the Drowning Folk specifically, just knowing Avery's name isn't enough.
Yeah, that's why Mammon Gray went for it. He still needed Avery to give in to have that influence, but he figured it was a safe bet to hedge.
And so long as Mammon Gray, what he expects of Dredger isn't against the Lord of the Drowning Folk's plan, he literally does not care that he's beholden to someone else.
Was that like a feel bad or a feel good or like a oh that's neat moment for you?
It's just oh that's neat, because this is pretty much exactly, since the Lord of the Drowning Folk previously worked under Mab when Chivalry killed him the first time hundreds of years ago. And this is kind of what I expected, that if someone manages to get the drop on him like that, it's like, oh, okay, that's very well done. I respect you for having tricked me that thoroughly, and I will respect you as my lord and even follow I won't even try to screw you over in terms of what you say, so long as you don't deny me the things I want to do.
Neat. Alright. I'm gonna cut the stream.
And Propulsion's just like picks up Sal Sr. I'm so pissed at you!
Did I spend more willpower than when Alex fought Captain Amazing? Or
Oh yeah, by a factor of 10.